Hi, this is LT Survival. Well, I've been tagged by GB Survival, Luke Banter, and Windham Woodcraft for show me your first aid kit, which we'll do. We'll try to take another approach, not showing you everything I've got, but showing you the main thing you should have in your first aid kit. Of course, many kits will be adapted to many situations, so stay tuned, we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Well, as you could see, I've got many kits. My main one being this huge case, which contains a lot of things. I'll show you the inside, not necessarily all the content, but you'll see it's packed of stuff in there. The wife being a nurse and I doing sports like diving. You need good first aid kits, but they're not portable kit either. So most of the time when I go in the woods, I pack myself a bag like this, a Ziploc bag, put it in my kit. It's easier to pack, it's easier to do. Maybe one day I'll get a pouch specific for it, but usually with the cadets, we go out and we have a bag with a kit like this. This is the box, the plastic box. This is one of the kit I've got home. One of the points I want to stress, it's very, very important to verify the content of your kit once in a while. Many things will go expired, but an expired plaster or anything can always be of use. So this is one of the kit. This is my car kit. It's a metal box. I think it might survive better in a crash, so that's why I use the metal box. It's also a box company I work for gave me, so plenty of it's sealed, it's waterproof, sealed, and I've got plenty of stuff in there. Again, you have to review these because if they freeze like here, usually one frozen season, and the stuff inside like the towelette will be expired. So even though the dates keeps going, it won't survive winter, more than one winter, and then you have to change it for the next summer and leave it maybe for the next winter. So every year you might have to change some product in there. Mini product. This is the most interesting kit because it's the fullest of them all. It's the one I probably use the most often, even though I don't like to use it very much, obviously, but it's full of material. Got my first aid kit, for my books, first aid book, which is the Worker Compensation Board in Quebec book, and there's also a small guide, procedural guide like the ambulance would be using. Okay, I'm going to do a close-up of both. So you've got the I'm not sure how it comes out, but this is the procedure chart for any emergencies. So this how to respond, and we've got the book they give us at the training, and I got also a leaflet for RCR. I've got also a flow chart for diving rescue with indication I can put on the victim to send him to the hospital. Got a guide for decompression sickness signs, and I've got an emergency numbers on the cover and the content of the kit. This is basically the how you should have your kit. Having the numbers inside the kit is always useful. There is an emergency line for divers, which I have a sticker here. You might not see it, but if I don't want to empty the whole thing. I got coins. There's still public phones sometimes. Less and less probable, but still have coins. I've got gauze, 4-inch, 2-inch, stereo strip. Many people show those. I'll talk about the toilet later on. I've got burn gel. So burn gel is really useful. It's one of the kit that you can hand. I've got sting stop, a pen, a pencil, a pen. What else? I've got tweezers. I'm going to talk of that later on. I've got tongue depressor. I've got these type of scissors, which are medical scissors. I've got other type in the box, in the other kits, depending. What else? I've got non-adhesive bandages. I'm going to show that later on. In the back of that I have a large gauze. I've got the triangular bandages, the compressive bandages, gloves, all types of plasters, all types of gauze in rolls. I've got non-adhesive gauze. So it's jam-packed. RCR mask, CPR mask. I've got throwaway mask also. Sometimes if we have multiple victims. Got two types, spare valves. So I've got a lot of stuff. Gloves. So this is a very complete kit. This is the kit I refer to most of the time, and this is my workhorse. So jammed that I have to put it the right way. Again, it's a metal casing, could be plastic, could be others. In the vehicle, in the trailer, sorry, I also have a speed split. So it's fold up. You can fold it up to meet the requirement of the an arm or a leg broken. You can use that. So if you have the vehicle close by, it's easy to do so. I talked about splinters, tweezers. Let me get the other tweezers. Well, you've got your standard kit tweezers. That's not tweezers. Often you'll find these plastic ones. Okay, they do fine. They have a major drawback, and I'll bring up my other one if it wants to come out the sheet. There you go. So here's the difference. Oops, stay in focus. So here's the difference. I have difficulty seeing my screen. Okay, here we go. So this is the stainless steel tweezers, and this is the plastic tweezers. Okay, they're big. Plastic tweezers also have one default. See the opening here? And watch it. It's going to open the tip. The tips start to open once in a while. When you want to apply pressure, the tip opens, so it's more difficult. On the stainless steel tweezer, well, the tip will always stay close, and it's really pointy, so you can get into the hole of the the splinter and really pull it out. So it's one good thing to buy a good pair of tweezers. I could play dart with it, so keep the protector on and put that into the sleeve, because you're gonna puncture yourself for sure. Okay. Scissors. I've talked about scissors. Got all kinds of scissors. I should put out my other scissors. Okay, this is what comes with most first aid kit. Either straight, oops, here we go. either straight like this or with a hook. With the hook is used to take sutures. When you get sutures, you put the scissors underneath, cut from the top, and the suture is cut. So these are better a little bit. They're not great. They're made in Taiwan, stainless, but standard. That's what they use to. That's what they put into most first aid kit. They do the job, but not much more. You could upgrade them to this type, stainless steel, really medical scissors with no pointy end, and a good. They're more expensive a bit, and they do the job. They're compact too, so they're not too big compared to the medical shear that we have here. Here's a pair of medical shears. So these in a box, even my big box, takes a lot of space, and these are easier to put in, and this is really big. They'll cut about anything, car seat belts, other stuff, metal, okay, but they're way bigger than this one. So it's a choice you have to make, either one or the other. There's a new make of folding shears, so they take less space, but if they're folding, there's more point that can break. And these, basically, if you use them to cut metal, you'll throw them away and buy a new pair. So that's for scissors in your kit. In your kit you'll find, usually when I go out in the woods, I have compressive bandages. I use the old military type compressive bandages. The Israeli one is more compact. It's a vacuum sealed, same function as this one. This is an old one from the Canadian Forces. I think it's 1980 some. They last for a long time, but 1985. So manufacture date 85. This one has puncture, so it's not sterile anymore, but it will do the job. And about sterility, well, let's finish with compressive bandages. Here's another one that you can find on the market. 4x4 inch compress, mounted compress. Some come in the box, some come with a plastic bag only. Others have boxes over with, and they're easier to put. In my kit, that's what I have, the one with the box. It's easier to put the compressed bandages into the box and store it straight in a large kit. These are really good because if you cut yourself and you have a bleeding wound, you put that on, and there's the roll to tie it up, so you can use them. This is the same way these one are made, but this one are big and this one is small. So, okay, I received the scissors and the I have to cut that. Now we've seen the scissors and the compressed bandages, which are probably two of the useful items. Tape. There's all kinds of tape kind. There's all kinds of tape out there, and you've got tissue tape. You've got really high adhesive ones, like this ones. Okay, this is the most common, the white tape, and you've got the non-skin adhesive, which basically you put straight on the skin, and they're hypoallergenic. These are better, but they stick less. These are made to go onto the gauze, straight onto the gauze. You gotta be careful though. They tend of expiring. So this one is all expired. They don't stick anymore, and it turned color. I'll go for a long time, but at one point you'll have to replace those. So this is the right way, and this is the expired one. So be careful about that. Tape is not the most necessary in first aid. You can do knots, you can You can do many things, but these tape are useful. You could use also the famous gun tape. And I want to talk about gauze. Well, there's a belief that you got to have everything sterile in your first aid kit. Well, no. As a matter of fact, for first aid emergency, as long as it's clean, or as clean as you can get it, put it on. And let me explain. In an hospital, they don't want to contaminate the wound, of course, so everything is sterile. Well, in the field, what you want to do is stop the bleeding. You don't want to keep the wound clean, or you want it as much as you want, but your main priority is to keep the blood in. So whatever you've got on hand will be of use, because this is the main purposes of your first aid kit: get you to the hospital. And in the hospital, they'll flush everything that you've put in. So you've got gauze like this, cling bandages, sterile. They're good. They're more expensive than the non-sterile form. And what happened is you might want to put a gauze like this, a large 8x4 gauze, sterile, and if they turn color, that means they're not sterile anymore, but they can be used. They're very, very, very clean. The trick, don't throw away everything. The first layer has got to be as clean as possible, and then you put this on, or you put it as a compress. So you put one, you sacrifice one for compress to absorb blood, and put it on with another one. Then you can absorb a lot of blood there and make the pressure if you don't have the compressive bandages, if you have a large gash. You could have it sterile, but you could have it also non-sterile, not even wrapped in something. I would put them into Ziploc bags, but beside that, I would keep them in my kit. I'd rather have more than these than buying only one sterile. So this is the gauze. This is the gauze. You've got to have many of those. Is there anything I want to show you? Oh yeah. Triangular bandages. Well, everybody's got them in their first aid kit. We've used them more as a bandana than anything else. But they make rope. Well, rope. They make straps so you can fix an arm by rolling them. If you remember your first aid course, you were rolling them like this, and it makes a tie up like this. So this is also useful. It's also useful for filtration, wearing, or anything. We were talking about moleskin in some of the kits. Well, you can also have these. These are a plaster, which they have the small cotton part here. These ones they're not wrapped into paper like any other bandages. Okay, they have red oxide in on their pads, which keeps the pad from having bacteria, and you can cut them to length. So that could be used also to replace in part moleskin if you don't have any. I'll do the job. It's also a long bandages if you have a long scratch that bleeds, so that could be used. Specialty kits. Here's a burn relief kit with large burn bandages. These are expensive. It's water gel product, really good. I've had the unfortunate luck of using some of these while I was in the military. Okay, cooked my hand on a very, very hot gun. Not fun. And no scar left because we applied these. The medic applied these to my hand. You can have them in small envelope, large gauze envelope, okay, and smaller ones, okay. So they're really good, and if you can have one, they tend to expire though. So these one expired 2010. I would probably use them still with 5 years past, but when I open it, I'll see if what type of color the liquid is. If the color is not transparent or greasy like, don't use them. But if it's the only thing you've got, I mean, it's better than nothing. And they come in a small kit with gloves and everything, so that could be a supplementary kit. If you work with hot thing, I would say the small envelope is the best to procure if you can. We've got also, I wanted to talk about multiple gauze. Yeah, the gauze. Okay. The large gauze you saw, I have a couple of makes. You've got the classic sponge or the classic 8x4. Oops. Let's get used to. Okay, the classic gauze 8x4. These ones have 2 in each. You've got the 4x4, the 2x2s. You've got also the Surgipad. Surgipad is like a combined dressing. It's a very thick 8x10. Okay, in width. Bandages. You apply it to the wound to cover it, to put sterile on to the wound. Same thing as the classic ones. And you've got also non-adherent dressing like this. These are Telfa. It's from Candle. It's the make, and they're not adhesive. Really good. And they do the same function as the other one. Put the sterile cover. This is a little more specialized. Adaptics. As I said, my wife's a nurse. She knows how to use those. They are basically saturated, non-adhesive bandages. They help the wound to get better, keep it wet at the same time. So it's not the same thing. It helps the skin to recover. So it's not exactly your first aid stuff, but that's another type of stuff you can have. I've got also, I'm not even sure, it's probably the grandfather of the one I just showed you, of the Adaptics. This is a Vaseline petroleum jelly gauze for wounds. It was used for wounds, and it was applied over burn or things like that. So not even sure that's still in use, but that could be an option for a greasy type of wound dressing. Well, that makes for a long video, and there's all kinds of oh, I didn't think about the suture. Yeah. There's all kinds of other dressing you can have. There's Ipafix, which is a gauze-like product, and there's Upside. There's all kinds of others. So there's many others. Get trained in what you use, because some are very specialized use, some are ordinary use. I want to show you plasters. What's the difference in between the plasters? The shapes. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, we've got classic bandages for your fingers, and they go around. They've got a gauze, they're adhesive. There's a tissue. These are plastic. These will adhere more than these, so that's why I prefer these ones. I've got larger one, square one, okay, with a square which seals all around the wound. So these are really good for over the hand and arms or things like that. I've got also knuckles, if I can find them. And did I? No, forgot. These are knuckles, which basically you put in on an articulation and dress the tabs around the finger, so that way you keep moving your finger, but you have a bandages that'll stick. Okay, so these are knuckles, and there's tip, which are basically two inverted triangle fingertip bandages. You can use these also, and you put it over and you protect the wound on the tip of your finger. So these are the bandages you can buy for your kit. I've got also another thing I wanted to talk about is towelettes. Here's the most common is benzochloride, benzalkonium chloride antiseptic toilet. Okay, they're good. These are better. They're iodine. Whoops, proviodine for the make, but they are iodine antiseptic toilet. Some people are allergic to iodine, so that's why most of your kit will have these ones. If you can find other product, sometimes companies come up with other product than these, but in towelettes it's easier to use and it lasts longer and it's less messy. Proviodine will make your wound clean and will help it to heal quickly. For those that burns themselves, they can also use Sting Stop for little burn, like you pick up the finger, barely touch your cup, and it's too warm, you burn a bit. Use these. They're also good for sting from insects, so that's another one. These ones, the envelope is more like aluminum. They last long, but they usually come into this type of envelope. And if you want to clean, this is sterile water. You want to have that in your if you get things in your eyes and you have trouble with your eyes, you might want to keep some of those. They're disposable and they're clean water to use in your eyes, or you could clean a wound with that too. And there is some kinds of needle like this that are sold in small box. It's not a needle, it's kind of a small fork that you use to remove splinter. It's more like a needle, but it's sterile and you can use it. So if you can find some, I've seen them on the market, but not often. So that's another option for your kit. Well, that has been a long video, I guess. I touched up on most of the stuff that you could, the more specialized stuff. One thing is, sir, you have to review your kit yearly. Not only because you've got expired product, but you want to make sure you replenish them. So every time you go out, fill up your first aid kit, check it up, and if you didn't use it, then you're okay. But I mean, if it's been a year you haven't touched it, then definitely review your kit. This is an overview of the large quantity of kit I've got. Obviously I don't have a pouch that I'm going to be using for going out in the forest. I usually throw stuff in a bag, in a Ziploc bag, and throw it into my kit. Not exactly accessible, but usually we do have other kits available in the field when we go with cadets. So it's pretty much like that. Well, obviously I forgot to tag people, so here's my tag. I decided to go with Pete from FS Bushcraft, your tag to show us your first aid kit. But I think I'm gonna add a twist to you, if you wish to do it. I would like to have Cody build his own, maybe his first aid kit, under your supervision, of course, but maybe it's time he gets his own first aid kit. And the two other guys I'm gonna tag are Pat and Andy from Boreal, Bushcraft, Canada. Show us your first aid kit if you wish. No obligation, but that would be fun to see yours as I shown mine. Any twist on it would be fine. So see you next time. Like that. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up, share and subscribe. Go see the two that nominate me for the tag, GB Survival and Windham Woodcraft. It was in the comment that we were exchanging about the kits that they tagged me, and GB Survival came back and Luke, thanks for tagging me officially. And we'll see you in the next video.